Hello everyone, this is ACHAA Akaya, and I am bringing you the matchup between SC2 Armory versus the Vile Gaming Network. And basically, there are 5 players on each team. One team representing SC2 Armory, of course, and one team representing the Vile Gaming community site as well. And this first matchup we're going to see here is Azreal versus Sobe, and Sobe playing as the yellow Zerg in the top right here, and in the lower right we have Azreal playing as the green Terran player. And this map is Kulas Ravine. So once again, if you have not seen this map, which I'm sure pretty much everybody watching this video at this point has if you've been following StarCraft 2 at all, this is a 4-player map. There are some yellow minerals on the middle right and middle left, which can be very, very key. Especially, I've seen a couple players successfully get a hidden expansion up there on the opposite map from where they're opposite side of the map from where their opponent is spawned, and if they can keep that expansion for even a small period of time once it's been up and running, then it actually becomes very, very it's a huge economic advantage that can just skyrocket them into the lead and give them a very solid chance to win this game. But getting into the game anyways here, it looks like Sobe is going to be going for some kind of a 14 pool possibly. We can see he does have 14 drones just now, so I would expect him to put down a spawning pool here relatively shortly, unless he was going to go for the fast expansion, in which case he may go for it on 15 or 16, which he is at 15 now. No, so he's going for a 15 pool, sorry. So 15 pool, 1 drone later than what I've seen some people typically go, like Hydra. I saw some games with him recently, and it seems like he really favors those 14 pool and then into a 15 or 16 hatch to get that first few Zerglings out early in the game so that he can do a lot of scouting, but then it also is very safe. So if there's any kind of early rush builds, you get that spawning pool out before the hatchery. It gives you plenty of time to respond to any kind of early aggression from your opponent. But he does have an extractor going down on both of his on both of the Vespene geysers at his base right now, so going to be seeing a pretty gas heavy build from him, it looks like. And Azreal does have his first refinery up right now and is getting his orbital command at his main, which for the Terran players to open up, usually first supply depot and then barracks and then straight to the orbital command is very, very standard. Now, I've started seeing a lot of players, and Azreal, I believe, is somebody who favors this build, where you basically tech 1 barracks, 1 factory, and 1 starport, and that gives you one, at least for your initial build pattern, because that gives you 1 tech building of every kind, so you can you have the ability to build units to counter any kind of army composition that your opponent is going. But with that build, typically I've seen a lot of Terran players use that as very, very early and consistent aggression throughout the early to mid game. So we'll see if he tries to do something like that. Back at the base of Sobe, he does have his hatchery morphing into a lair already and has not even built a single Zergling yet. From what I can tell you, if we look at the units overlay here, no Zerglings out on the map as of yet. Both players at actually 18 SCVs, just dropped down to 17 drones for Sobe because he did build this hatchery out at his natural. But also you got to consider the 1 mule in for the Terran player as well, so the income for him is going to be a bit higher, and as you can see, it's significantly higher for the minerals, simply because both gases are set up for mining for Sobe in his base, so he is going to be using those gases as early as possible. And it looks like the factory out and also going for the starport now, so Azreal looks like he is going to utilize that build that I mentioned, although, unfortunately, he had some idle SCVs. You can see his rally point there apparently somehow got messed up, so his rally point is just going to outside of his command center, not to one of the mineral lines, so that is going to draw a little bit of his attention away from there. You can see he apparently has not fixed it yet, as his next SCV did just spawn and is sitting right outside of that base there still. But it looks like Azreal is going to push out across the map, and the hatchery at the natural expansion being canceled for Sobe, so it looks like Azreal is going to try to get some early pressure on with a couple of these Hellions. He's actually going to be in pretty good shape to do some damage against the mineral line here. Sobe trying to get up a spine crawl, and he did just cancel 1 building. I'm not sure what that building was, but there is a roach warren that is getting close to about halfway done here, trying to put down another spine crawler here. If Azreal pushes in here shortly, he may be in pretty good shape, as there are only just now 6 Zerglings coming out on the map for the Zerg player Sobe. So and it looks like he is going to push in right now, and again, those Zerglings just take so much damage from those Hellions. Although unfortunately with these spine crawlers finishing up, I don't know if he's going to have enough to take all this on, because those spine crawlers are pretty powerful against infantry units. So for the time being, Azreal going to back off for just a little bit and try to mass up a few more forces. But of course we do see that there are a lot more Zerglings coming out right now, and actually some Banelings going to be built shortly, as we do see a Baneling nest going down as well. And Sobe has finished his Roach Warren, so on the production overlay here, we see that he is producing one Roach. He has a speed upgrade coming for his Zerglings right now. And Azreal trying to move around the back to try to take out some miners. It looks like those spine crawlers may just be a little bit out of position in regards to defending his mineral line, and these Zerglings are going to go down so quick to the combined fire of those 3 Hellions, and he's going to get right back in here and just start going straight for the mineral line. And it looks like the spawning pool is going to be susceptible to attack as well. And no minerals coming in for Sobe right now, as all of his drones are out, and one Banshee out as well. The only anti-air unit that Sobe has is the Queen, and that Queen is going to go down. So it looks like this game is going to go to Azreal very, very quickly, as he is able to take it. Sobe says, that sucks. So he was not prepared to deal with that one Banshee attack, because he spent so much of his resources trying to get Zerglings up to defend against that early push from those Hellions and the Marines. So unfortunately he was not able to hold that off. We are going to move on to game 2. I believe each matchup in this SC2 Army versus Vile Gaming series is a best of 3 matchup. So we're going to move on to game 2 and see if Sobe can come back and win game 2 and force it into an ace match.